Hello again and welcome to round 6, races 11 and 12 of the World Super Touring Championship here at the freshly revived Deep Forest Raceway in Switzerland. We've reached the halfway mark, or just exceeded the halfway mark that Blue Moose Bay took us to. Nico Wurz is leading the championship on 134 points with Sabine Wittman in second. Jean Aiello in third on 114, Wittman on 129. Standout points, Carlos Palou, the rookie, fifth, tied for fifth with Fabrizio Fisichella in the other Alfa on 97. And more notably, the BMW work still needs to be done. John Webber in 12th place with race winner Sophia Schneider on 14th. They've got 110 points total, but work still needs to be done. This is Adrian Michael Rees alongside Christian Shepherd. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, we should be set for a good start here. We've got Sergio Suarez on pole once again, qualifying king. Let's see what he does in the race. And as per usual, he's bottled it off the line. But that doesn't stop James.
Fisichella already up to 4th place.
Yeah, that is such a good start from 6th. He's down the inside. Well,
that's going to bring the eye of a couple of those drivers there.
Little bit.
Very, very late.
Little bit, but what a clean, well, I say, what a getaway. You don't normally get up to 2nd place from 6th at the start, but then rear wheel drive amongst all the front wheel drive stuff. Case in point, as they head through all these tunnels that were so iconic to us back in the 90s. It's a fresh return back to the Swiss Alps. And what a traffic jam through the infield.
Just to make note of Suarez, he actually did try to hold on to 2nd place there.
Yeah, it's not too bad a start. He's in 3rd. Still got a clean gap behind him. There's the two Renaults. There's Sophia Schneider making an effort this time not to scrape onto the back of the top 10 to get pole here. So hopefully something more promising. But then again, Kamish also
start from Kamish. Dropped a few positions there, but overspeed from the Ford again showing.
Now, one of the newest parts of the circuit, this hairpin, questionable, maybe, but is it going to produce better overtakes into the final sector of the circuit, which is now going to be even faster due to the renovation at this part of the track, which was considered to be a bit dangerous back in the 90s, and over menu mount and completing lap 1. Thompson leads, Fisichella 2nd, but after a good start, he still means business. He certainly does. Suarez still holding on to 3rd there. Not too bad a start, I suppose, but it's got to be a win in there somewhere. His teammate's done it. Cascio doing well. Here he is. Here's the onboard.
Wittman seems to have dropped back. So it was starting just behind Fisichella. It was no longer in the top 8.
Yeah, that's pointed out. The director on the ball behind one of the privateer Tamiya Hondas in Felix Radel. Palou there in 10th. Still doing a good, decent job, but at least Kamish, the figurehead of the Ford team, still 7th. There's Nico Wurz, championship leader.
Attack by Webber there.
Oh, Webber also on the attack as well, so still midfield, but at least he's not last, eh? Let's see what he can do as we head towards the hairpin. Underneath all this new renovation work of the tunnels, that one's always been there, obviously. Into the hairpin they go. Nobody making a move just yet. Not even further back.
Cascio surprisingly ahead of Aiello. Not usually that at the moment. It's the same with Kamish also being ahead of Palou. It's a stark difference to the first half of the season.
Yes, so obviously Kamish had knuckled down then. Didn't want to come out of America with any negative impacts, and obviously doing quite well. There's Wurz down the inside of Biffle. Nope, okay. Power was there, but of course the Ford at the top end at the end of the straight to keep on with it. Get on with it. Weber still in 13th. There's Duma. Privateer BMW. Here's the veteran Nielsen, who has announced, since our brief bit of gossip, that he is to retire from touring car racing, just touring car racing, mark you, at the end of the season. So that's going to shake up some of the seats for the next season, as are perhaps some of the cars as well, as we focus on one of those cars in question. Yep, Fisichella is past the 3-door Scirocco. Rules for next season might impact that car. They might have to run the Golf instead. We'll see what happens. As down the inside goes Aiello on Suarez as the yep, that little
nicely around the outside.
Yeah, well defended. Still a bit of a battle, but they're still not close enough. Right then, this will be some slipstream. Sophia Schneider behind Aiello. You can see in the mirrors on board as we go. Here's Suarez, not getting. Oh, it's going to be must be so frustrating to do all that effort in qualifying and have this happen almost every single race that you put it on pole for.
It seems to almost have like a time trial-less kind of setup.
Perhaps. Oh, Schneider. Yeah. The turns have mostly stayed the same, apart from some obvious exceptions. So that particular S-bend section was always daunting, as is this bit, thanks to the tunnels that have always been there.
Well, as you've noticed, they've been adding astroturf outside the curbing, as well as the curbing itself.
Yeah, they've done what they can to get it up to as much as modern standard as possible. This is a new turn here that's slower.
They're still struggling to overtake Wurz down the straight at the moment.
Compared to Blue Moon Bay and previous races, this is actually, you know, top level in comparison. Weber did well when it was the season before. You know, the car behind him, he was running that DHL car, putting the BMW factory to shame, which is why they hired him in the first place, but still not making up for that statement of last season. Perhaps Duma will be better. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the rumour mill will provide for that one. Battle
is that suggestion that they're going to the M4 side to interject there. So it may
yeah,
well
that
be
is another one as well.
Yeah, they've probably just done no development on the car and they've rather focused on the M4 for the next season. Bit of a late move there for Schneider.
Yep. Obviously too late, still got the position of 6th, not 5th. Aiello still holding on to that one. Suarez still 4th, bit of a gap to Kamish, who's trying to fend off the privateer Honda of Felix Dreidel.
Yeah, gotta give them credit for where they are. Usually, unfortunately, the Blue Moon, they were sitting at the back almost on a casual note. Now they seem to be a bit more competitive, especially chasing.
It's not one for top speed then, must be. It's not, even though there are some fast straights here, there's more of a handling element that didn't present itself at Blue Moon Bay through these bits of the track. So that meant top 10 for Rydell, top 15 in the points. Fastest lap goes to Aiello so far. We've gone past the quarter mark. And the weather could throw a surprise. Here's Gasho.
Gasho's looking very racy today.
Fisichella has now took the lead. Of course he has.
Yes, but
and there goes Aiello for 4th. Schneider is going to take 6th as well.
Just about to say,
and
Fisichella's not quite getting away, but then straight after that immediately falls at least a second down.
Riddle me this, he was 1st, now he's 6th. And we've got a driver that was 6th, now 1st. What a race we are in store for currently. Kamish, 7th, turn 1. There goes Wittman, now starting to gain ahead of Palou this time. Biffle in 11th.
Also bearing in mind that both Wurz and Suarez will be looking at a different Volkswagen for next season as well, as they too have to change the car due to the regulations, the
And
car
it's
Rocker will be illegal by the next season. So again, could well be that they've just simply hampered their own development, which at the cost of Wurz at the moment, who's currently in 12th place.
without trying to complicate things, there must be a 5-door version of the car, of which there isn't a 5-door Scirocco, nor is there a 2-door, 5-door M2. Numbers.
They'll be eventually just sort of keep the costs from fluctuating as usual with these things. A little look there, Gasho. Nothing doing, but probably trying to fill the rear view of Thompson, try and put him off, make him into a mistake, push him into a mistake.
I think the gap's too far back there.
But, scare tactics no beyond touring car drivers, let's be fair. He's got fantastic overdrive here.
Yeah, so whilst the Honda's good for top speed and cornering, so is this Renault at this very moment in time. It's down the inside of Jamie Thompson. Wasn't a bit slow. It was his brother John in rallying that they had mixed up earlier.
Indeed.
And here's sure.
If this Renault's got a bit of a better pace here to take on the very fast Fisichella, and also it's Jason Thompson, if I'm not mistaken.
The Thompson family are in full flight.
They have many good drivers. Neither the second that was all over the back of Aiello, but a very poor exit out on that corner.
Yeah, it's remaining a bit stagnant now, but Rydell still doing quite well. Webber still in 13th. Bit of a gap to Vickens then. Dumas and Webber having a battle. Ooh, bit of bodywork off the wall there.
Yes.
Nice little bit of side by side all the way through the hairpin. Is he gonna go? I can't see him getting. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is he gonna go around the outside and then all the way down the back, down the front straight?
Oh, not able to.
Oh, that was so tempting. That would have been such a move all the way planned.
Not over yet. Not over yet. Let's see what he does into turn one.
A good battle.
That was a very
that move.
About half-thought move there, unfortunately, from Dumas.
That's the back of the leading pack as they snake their way through the infield.
Again, who is that right at the back? It's a very unfortunate driver there going into turn
unfortunately, one. That is Felix Rydell's teammate Satoru Kobayashi.
Oh, it seems almost a typical place, unfortunately, for the.
And having Swinnerton in 19th there, having him in the midfield earlier might be your put two and two together. He might have been the cause of that. Gasho in second, Thompson third, Aiello fourth, Schneider up to fifth. As we know, bit of a gap to Suarez, who is still leaking places. Kamish is now getting close.
Kamish will want that. He'll want to put as many points in between him and Palou as possible to try and bridge that gap to his.
Speaking of Palou, battle with Wittman for 12th. Battle for Wittman for 9th.
For 9th, exactly. It looked like Wittman might have lost that place, but
someone doesn't want Paul for race 2.
Oh, some of these drivers won't be looking at getting pole, they'll be looking at getting one over the teammate at the moment. Palou will not be happy about seeing Kamish that far ahead currently. Although Wittman on the inside of Rydell. Almost screams, get a move on from their...
How dare you be so far up being a privateer?
Yeah.
Me and my works Alpha, she says.
2 race wins we can see there for Wittman.
whilst I get my Jamie and Jason's mixed up, it's more of a consultancy role that Thompson's teammate Nielsen is going to be taking on board. Advisory role. Maybe that'll help Jason Thompson as well, being upgraded from one of the privateer Civics last season. Webber now 11th, 2 places gained. Biffle 12th, Wirtz now 13th. That is, I think, the noticeable swap there. Wirtz has fallen back. Still in the points, however minimal. So the point, the championship is going to lead there.
Up there.
Webber is 11th.
11th now. They were. Why did that? Oh, there was almost a complete miss. Just Webber just suddenly teleported.
Yeah, we missed that. I think
here we go.
Wirtz and Webber swapped, and Dumas was in the middle of it. Now that now that Wirtz is back ahead of Dumas, but this is a close battle. There goes Palou down the inside of Rydell, who is starting to fall back a bit more after that promising start. Webber trying to find every possible angle to go outside of Rydell. Should get it for the infield here, but this is going to be narrow and tricky, questionable. A bit of a barge there.
Yeah.
At slow speed, so not too. Yeah, we are entering that point again, just like at Blue Moon Bay, especially through these turns where the tyres are going to be asking for a bit more of go easy on us, guys.
We're now challenging Camish.
Yeah, Wittman up to 8th. Webber promising look for pole for race 2 then, whilst Sophia Schneider is further up the grid. Suppose the answers are now being provided. Just that little bit more. Gasho down the inside of Fisichella for the lead. Maybe not. Traffic jam. Schneider up to 5th. That's a close one. As is the one for the midfield as well, with Suarez in 6th, who is still trying to fend off having qualified so well.
I don't think it was necessarily a good idea for Gasho to have gone for that. Fisichella, who had a great run out of that corner, is now pulled significantly ahead before turn 1. ILO sniffing down the inside of Thompson. No such luck for now.
Yeah, that was Thompson. Schneider also trying to throw ILO off by hiding from his mirrors, or at least one of them. Oh, bit of almost on the grass there.
Not the first time we've seen that manoeuvre from Schneider either. Clearly preferring that that line, because they're not.
If it works, it works.
Indeed. There's a wide line there. It's very.
If it helps with the tyres, it helps with. If it helps with the tyres for later, let's see what happens. 5 to go. Well, 4.5 to go, but Fisichella with the gap again to Gasho, Thompson down to 3rd, ILO 4th, and there's Schneider,
Schneider on the inside,
with the acceleration out of that particular turn, but Renault Power should provide an answer to that as we get to the other side of this tunnel and the other side of the next tunnel.
Sharing
almost. Did you see how close that Renault was to the wall then?
Look at that overdrive that Renault had, just pulled out.
I wonder if that M4 is going to be any better.
I'd like to hope so. The BMWs are always fun to watch racing.
So Palou up to 9th, Camish still 7th. Too much of a gap. Webber looking comfortable to be getting the P1 for race 2.
14th.
Yep, Rydell. All the effort. I mean, it's still good for a privateer Honda output. And what's more confusing is the Toyotas now having sort of set the world alight in the first 2 races, in their first 2 Super Touring races with the Crown athlete. Starting to find a bit of post-honeymoon depression, being 15th and 16th in this particular race. So only 1 point to look forward to by the end of it, and not a reverse grid incentive in sight for those two Toyotas right there. Nice to look at, but in that position, maybe not. And there's
there again.
yeah, the power wasn't there, but the train definitely still is. If a little bit more stretched out, Wittman in 8th on board. We go. Kamish in front, no one in the mirror. Kamish acting a little defensively before the braking area. And the race rolls on. The guys at the back seem to be falling further and further away.
Look at Kamish with a great exit.
We'll soon see that for the braking area for turn 1. Aiello still with the fastest lap.
Kamish, who started 6th, would like that back very quickly. It took a late lunge.
And it looks like that is going to pay off. Meanwhile, Webber still wants to do better than just get pole for race 2 by the looks of things. Wittman is now ahead of... Oh, Suarez is down to 8th. Yeah. It's almost like we know it's going to happen now. Every time that guy's on pole, it's almost like we're sort of hiding around the tree, rubbing our hands with glee, waiting for it to happen. Like the meme. Wittman now in 7th. Kamish up to 6th. It is. He's done so well when he was in another Honda.
Out there.
Yep.
Slight shuffling there from Webber.
Yeah, Webber's getting the same sort of scenario as Sophia Schneider, where the forward power is just going to eat that position back again.
Yeah, exactly.
Dumas now up to 12th.
Oh, Suarez fighting back.
Yeah, not taking no for an answer, obviously. It is evident, but when the other cars are going to get past, it's always going to be disappointing.
Still outperforming Wurz, who is the current champion at the moment.
Currently in this race, but then he's getting closer to him with every single lap. 3 to go. Thompson there in 3rd with Gasho in front. Fisichella with now enough of a gap not to worry too much. I think he's played the tyre game well for this race and this race alone.
So now it's the top 5 on their own, and back to Kamish. To 6th and Wittman just beyond Wittman. You gotta put money on it to take to Kamish at some point within the race, haven't you? All over the back of Kamish.
It's trying to. You can see how close it is through this infield snake with the 2 tunnels. Faster stretch, but the braking area coming up. There's the gap. Didn't go for it, but she's lifting off to get the acceleration out of the turn. But the car in front doing enough of a block job. But you can see there Webber doing the same thing as he did earlier. But that Ford should have enough bite. There we go, he's got it back already. Suarez still paying close attention to the rear wing. It's gone, absolutely.
It'll come back, but it is gone for now. If Kamish has been told to get a move on, that was a very wide line for Kamish, which has pulled Wittman straight back up to him.
And on it goes. Another lap complete, 2 to go.
I wonder if Pillow will give up that position. Dumas is now at 12.
Yep. Still threatening Nico Wurz with less points in the world standings. And enough of a train behind to cause a threat. The Toyotas have caught up a little bit, but it's still not enough.
Wicken's very far behind, and same thing can be said for Nielsen. It's almost like it's almost like the heart just isn't in it for Nielsen.
And if Kobayashi's not too careful in last, he may be traffic for the guys in front. He's about to head towards the final hairpin. Whilst Fisichella here still has enough of a gap to get the full points in race 1 and done. Schneider still hovering all over the back of Aiello. No doubt the same thing's going to play out No, she was on the outside of that particular turn there, so still behind Aiello. No one's gone quicker than him all race. Suarez still in 8th, with Weber now up to 9th. And finally,
Suarez.
Is that going to pay off? No.
Doesn't seem to be. Oh, and a bit of a wide
Not
late
good on the
braking there
brakes.
as well. Weber's going to
Something
be
that
rubbing his hands together. Pallou's now down to 10th.
Yep, that's because Weber there has got the position. Now, 1 to go as we cross the line. Fisichella in the lead still.
Palou just dropping off slightly as well.
Yeah, and it looks like the fastest lap has been set. I don't think any of these midfield guys are going to go any quicker. The tyres have had their say. On proceedings, Duma up to 11th now.
Oh, Schneider. You do wonder what would have happened with Schneider if they'd managed to get past the Aiello there.
Well, the fact that we have gone a bit quiet about BMW is they're actually doing their job now of finishing quite well. Just needs to be a little bit better towards the tail end of the season. Now they've got the work in, and there goes Schneider trying to still make her presence well known to Aiello. There's Wittman. Now
there's Weber. Let's see how this.
Weber's ahead of Suarez. Weber is now ahead of Suarez and is about to get ahead of Wittman as well. This is the stuff we want. This is the stuff that BMW should be producing race on race on race. And they're now finally getting around to that.
It's going to be a brave manoeuvre. Is he going to try to switch back? Not quite.
That will pay off. Oh my, it has.
He's got switched into the Ford. Yeah, that pays off.
And what a very good race back at Deep Forest Raceway after a long time off. Fisichella across the line and the top 5, and there goes Schneider into 4th as well. Everything is coming up Millhouse for Kamish, Weber and Wittman. Suarez, unluckiest of the lot basically, no matter what you say about Kobayashi and Swinnerton at the back of the pack, nor the Toyotas. Nielsen 18th. That was bad luck, and I'm pretty sure he was in the midfield at some point as well. There's Swinnerton about to finalise his say on proceedings, but Kobayashi, look how far back that car is. Almost a lap.
141s and 43s, whereas the rest were doing 38s by the end. I can't help but think that there may be just some sort of mechanical problem.
Mistakes may have been made.
Maybe.
So, with the 30 points for the win, into race 2 we go with a Ford on pole. See you soon.